Just fix my lens this side. Okay. Right. Again, welcome everybody to our training for the second attempt. We had some technical issues, my apologies. So today's training, we're getting into smart hybrid light. So regarding smart hybrid light, we're going to go through the following topics. That will obviously be the technology of the smart hybrid light. Go. There we go. Okay. And then we're also going to have a look at the product line and a little bit of promotion regarding the smart hybrid light. So the first one is the technology. And as I mentioned, well, I'm going to re-mention it again for the guys online as well. The smart hybrid light is a nice modern technology to assist for darker environments itself, to light up in colors itself. So we are very familiar with color view cameras, and this product was designed for certain areas where there's not enough light in a further distance. So if we have infrared lighting on, it will show us more information on a further distance. If we have color view, it shows us close by colors. Because of certain lighting conditions at the further background, it doesn't show us that proper color environment. This is where the smart hybrid light comes in for that category. So this is not a replacement on all products. This is just focusing on the fact of the differences in technology. So maybe you have an area where in the front area it's nicely lit up, but for the color view to work, but the back area itself is not so great. So this means I can use the smart hybrid light, giving me the black and white imaging itself at nighttime, but during the time period that there's a human or vehicle there, it will go into color, right? This is part of the smart hybrid light. So we can use this in multiple different places, indoors, outdoors. It basically works off that backlight of that area of the lighting environment. And here we can see a nice graph just to show us the differences between the two. So obviously infrared and the white light mode. So that white light mode will be enabled according to what you set the camera into. There are three categories. The first category is IR. That's normal infrared itself that we are familiar with on our cameras. And then the second one is white light camera mode. So that white light itself can be enabled so that white light is permanently on, allowing you to have colorful images. But like I said, for certain areas at the background of that environment, if there's not enough light there, it struggles to give you a bit of colors. So this is where the smart functionality comes in. So as soon as there's a human or vehicle. So for most areas, it can be used as normal for motion detection itself. So when it sees up a person, it will immediately trigger. And then once the person is gone, it will go back. So this means as soon as there's a vehicle or human that approaches the area, there's nothing there. The person approaches the area, it will immediately go into color, and then if the person is gone, it will go back into black and white. So it's a nice little feature. I actually had a little video, but couldn't find it this morning to add it in here. So my apologies. Okay. So here's another one for vehicle side itself, just to show you same principle. There's no real difference. IR, just to show you a nice colorful image with the white light and then the smart mode itself. So for security use, this is pretty nice. So whether it is human or vehicle classification, and this works through that motion detection, motion 2.0. Motion 2.0 is target specific and will focus on the shape of a human or shape of a vehicle. Okay, so no matter what type of vehicle it is, if it's a Tata, Polo, a Ferrari, it's a vehicle. So, hashtag the same. All right, so just again to break down the benefits between the two. So when there is an intruder, it will immediately go into the white light mode, giving you colorful images. This will help you to look at color information of the person. Unfortunately, I don't have a proper image of this one, but I normally use the colors in the image, and especially if you look at red in black and white imaging, it looks more white. But if we look at colors, you can see it's clearly red. So for any operator to look at that environment in black and white and they see a person, they're going to see the person with a white shirt. So if they inform the armed response, please look at a person with a whitish type of shirt, they're going to stop a guy with a red shirt and they're going to ask the guy, did you see someone with a white shirt? Yeah, he went that way. You know, that's how it works, isn't it? Okay. So here's a little video just to show you the technology. I'm hoping that the guys can hear. If you can't, please have a look at the YouTube channel. Yeah, sound is not working.
To a new solution helps capture clear images in low lighting. It overcomes traditional challenges to optimize lighting around the clock. Traditionally, there were two options for lighting. The first option was to use a camera with infrared light that rendered black and white images. The second option was supplemental lighting, which enabled the camera to capture details of color. Both of these solutions have their limitations. Infrared, or IR cameras, capture only black and white video with no color detail. And with supplemental lighting, keeping bright lights on throughout the night is inconvenient and sometimes restricted in certain areas. Now let me introduce a brand new solution to resolve these challenges. HikVision's Smart Hybrid Light Camera with Color. HikVision's Smart Hybrid Lighting Cameras with Color feature an f1 super aperture and an advanced sensor to deliver excellent color imaging in ultra low light. Compared to conventional cameras, this type of camera can render crisp, full color images in the videos that are minimal lighting conditions, thanks to HikVision color view technology. These cameras also provide three types of lighting modes for image clarity under total darkness: infrared light mode, supplemental visible light, and a smart hybrid of the two. Here is how HikVision smart hybrid light cameras with color view work in total darkness. In an IR mode, the camera auto deploys the IR in darkness. In white supplemental mode, the visible light enables continual color imaging overnight. In smart mode, the camera maintains infrared illumination and triggers visible light upon detection of a person or vehicle. This is auto-enabled by HikVision's active sense classified optical control. When the person or vehicle is in the area, the camera automatically switches back to IR. By switching lighting intelligently, these cameras deliver detailed and maximum efficiency every moment. When triggered, the visible light can also deter trespassing. Users can select the mode that best suits their requirements for darkness. It's easy to configure smart lighting functions with just one click by using a HikVision VR video management system, camera referee, or the mobile. HikVision's smart hybrid light camera with color are a powerful solution for video security monitoring every hour of the day.
Right, video stopped there for some sort of technical reasons. Not sure why I didn't create the video, but let's move on then, if that's the situation. Right, hoping that some of the guys could hear that. I don't have control over that part, but on the smart hybrid light, just to let you know on certain parameters and settings where to go to. So firstly is going to be in this category. We're going to look under display. Then we have our camera parameter settings. And in our camera parameter settings, we'll have our smart hybrid light settings. In those settings, you have the three options, either IR, so the camera will constantly stay in IR, or white light mode, which means the camera is going to constantly stay into color imaging. Can I also say, while we're at that subject, if you enable it in white light mode, it doesn't mean always that the white light will continue to stay on. This means that if the camera sees there's enough lighting in the environment, then only the light will go away. If there's too little light in that area, the white light will come on. So sometimes people get a little bit confused, and that focuses on the lux itself for the environment. And then the next one will obviously be the smart hybrid light. And yes, my mouse icon is unicorn pink. It's my favorite color. All right, moving forward. So the smart hybrid light, once you enable it, as soon as it sees a human or vehicle, it will immediately enable to go into that smart hybrid light. Okay, and then after that, on the HikConnect app, you also have the functionality. If the camera has the white light mode built in, you can manually trigger that to be able to alert the camera or notify someone that you are watching. Okay, hope that helps, maybe. Moving forward. So in the Turbo HD, just to show you how that would look like, here's a little video of the settings on a DVR. So just to show you from that point of view, if it's going to play. It's playing my luck. So here we have two models. So as you can see, we go into the configuration, go to the smart event, select the line crossing as example, and in our linking action, there we will have our camera light itself. As soon as there's a trigger, the white light goes on. As soon as the person moves away, that is now obviously the video rendering. It's one of those things. It's okay, well, it's done. As soon as the person walks away, then it will go back into black and white mode. So setting wise itself, if you do get across that, you'll find it in the day-night switch. Also, as some of the products will highlight it, it will show you the supplement light mode, and you can switch it on or off so you can go through that configuration. And as I mentioned, this can also work through the Motion 2.0 as well as PIR with motion detection. So you have two categories there that you can focus on, especially in the IP range. Moving forward on the product side, just to let you guys know. So in the product side here, we have a normal Turbo HD analog smart hybrid light camera. This model itself is obviously is a 2 megapixel up to a 3K resolutions. But here's the important note that this is 0.1 lux, which means it needs more help in that area. And just from an analog point of view, to let you guys know, a lot of people didn't know this one, but that's why, you know, I'm here. If the camera has no line indicator, and it is obviously a analog color view smart hybrid light camera, the colorful line or the no line indication means it's the lowest level. So from a visual point of view, from analog, if you don't see any lines or any indication on that color view camera, that means basically, and for the guys I will show you now online, that means basically that's your entry level, because that camera is under 0.1 lux. So part of that smart hybrid light is getting you that 3 different modes that you can use, built-in microphone on some of these devices. So definitely have a look at that. Here's the 2-way communication. So some of these devices give you the capability of using the 2-way communication. This is really nice, and it's quite a bit that you can enable. So not just from the different lenses, but also reducing the noise factor. You can also enable the echo reduction that's in the camera built in, and you can also set the level from 0 to 5 if you would like to for your noise in your environment. This gives you that 2-way communication. So if you do have the HikConnect app, this makes it easier. So from an analog camera with just a single cable going to it, and you have these cables of these cameras connected to them, it gives you the capability of using the 2-way audio on the camera itself. So from your mobile phone, you can have a discussion with the person on your mobile phone. I like to mention this to people. I've got 2 teenagers at home, and as a parent, my teenagers do that little special thing called ignore parents on WhatsApp. I don't know if you guys have seen that feature. That's called the blue tick, isn't it? So time again, I have to go onto my camera in my lounge, and I have to take my phone and I go, sweetie, hello, sweetie, sweetie, hello. I get a WhatsApp message saying, Dad, stop, it's creepy. Okay, so just hashtag saying it does work. So this means you can have 2-way communication directly, and I think it's a brilliant thing, especially in analog environment, and we also have that in IP, obviously. So just to break down again on certain cameras, like I said, for Eco IP, we do have the functionality. On the IP range, we don't always show you the color lines, but just take note that the lux is completely different compared to on the megapixels. Obviously, the white light mode, the range, the distance between that white light mode itself, and obviously the built-in mic if it has the capability. Yes, question time. Okay. When it comes to the cameras, depends on the megapixels itself. That's why we say there's 2 different categories itself. If it is only 20 meters and you have a 2 megapixel model, it depends on your environment height that you have installed it, number 1, and your degree angle. It needs to be at a 10 degrees, which makes it a little bit difficult, which means you need more cameras. So accuracy wise, and I know a lot of people haven't seen this before, but clearly if you do have the HikVision product and you open up the box, there's something new and special that was never there before. It's called the manual. On that manual, it will show you what we recommend as parameters for installation and guide. And if you want to be very technology good, then you can maybe use your HikPartner Pro app. That app is designed, and it is there in the corner. That app is designed to also inform you with any of the parameters that you need. So you select the model that you have, you put in the naming rule, it will find the camera, and you can download multiple different files there for PDF to guide you, if that maybe helps answer. Each camera is different and unique environment. Moving forward, so we can, yes.
Pick up from the Google cameras.
Yes.
Would you only use coax? Or
you can use coaxial or cat, with balances. So it's preference to you. There's no set rule in that regard itself. As long as you use quality balances and quality Cat5e cable from, I don't know, some brand that also sells, like HikVision, that sells. So just letting you know. But then it doesn't matter. What does matter is the noise level of your environment. But that works with anything else. If you got a little Bluetooth speaker, and maybe the Bluetooth speaker is only 100 decibels itself that it emits sound, you can listen to that 50, 60 meters away. But there's a difference between daytime and nighttime. So if you play it during the day, the person stands 60 meters away, they won't hear it at all. But at nighttime, when it's quiet down, and then you play it, then you'll clearly hear it. So traveling of sound in your environment of a noise factor, that we can't give you a set ground on that, unfortunately. Yes.
Audio is only acting as a motion, or
it can be set for whenever you record it. So it all comes down to your parameters of your recording of the camera. So if you set the camera into constant recording and you enable the microphone, then it will obviously just record constantly. If you focus on recording only in motion or movement, then for that event, it will record the audio in that event. Okay. Any other? Go. All right, moving forward. So for residentials, it will help. The nice thing about these functionalities is not just because of the two-way communication, but also about the audible warning that's on there. So there's a few options that you can set for the audible warning. So once the motion detection or the intrusion detection picks up a person or vehicle, it can warn them in your residential area. Maybe it's for a retail solution. Maybe it's for a retail shop. It can be big, it can be small. The nice thing is, yes, these cameras were designed for security, but we can use this camera in a different way. So maybe I have a bookstore and I enable the recording on there. Once somebody walks into the bookstore, it will welcome you and say, please have a look. We've got books on the left-hand side on special. And maybe you set up another camera for when the customer is leaving. So when the customer leaves, you can greet them and say, thank you for visiting. Hope to see you soon. So in security, yes, it's nice, but in that kind of environment, I think is pretty nice. Warehouse environment, if we had an actual customer, and I hope that you're online today, sir, a customer that told me that they've used this in their warehouse because some staff constantly put the boxes right by the door area. So I think a lot of people have faced this issue. My kids do this at home. They just pack all their bags in front of the door. And as you walk in, you fall down and they think it's funny. So this is a nice way to inform them that if they leave something there, you can't leave something there. All right. Large perimeter protection as well. This will have also the same effect in warning you itself. So if you guys are visiting here and you are leaving, if you wanted to, you can see at the gate outside by the boom gates. If you stand there as a human being, the cameras will warn you to tell you, please vacate the area. You cannot stand there. Nice little feature. All right. So getting back into the product itself. So we showed earlier the normal analog with a 0.01 lux. This is the second model. So in this model itself, you'll find not just the naming rule has changed, but also the color line. There's a colorful line in there. That colorful line tells you it's a different grade now. So now instead of having a 0.01 lux, it has now 0.001 lux. And for the guys online, that will be over here. And please, no, it's not lux like in soap. It's environment of light. Okay, right. So it also has the smart hybrid light built in. There's differences in the infrared lighting, as well as your switch around and your built-in audio over coaxial feature is also built into it. So this is one of the product lines. So now we showed you obviously the first one with no line, colorful image, it's just blank. Then in the analog, you have the normal silver one. And then we get into the next one, which is the gold one. The gold one, you'll see that the lux has changed now. It's even better. So it means I need less light in that environment. So now we've added onto them. Unfortunately for this demonstration, I don't have the one after that. The one after that has a colorful line in the image. So that means that that camera is the 0.0005 lux. That means the top of the range, which means that that camera doesn't need more light to give you a colorful image in that environment. I hope that maybe makes it clear. And then on the IP side, for the Pro Series, yes, we do have as well. This gives us the capability of also enabling. In the IP range, we don't have a color line indication. It's just the camera, right? So for analog, visually, we give you that capability. So when you walk up to the camera and you see it, you know exactly which category. And then if you can see the line and it's maybe silver, you can ask the customer, please give me information. Do you have like any spotlights that are on while there's load shedding? And the customer says no, which means the camera needs more help. So you don't have the right model in that environment. You need the one with a colorful line to help that environment. But getting back to the IP range, so you can see obviously the lux involved there, the F count. We have showed you a little bit about that super confocal lens. And for today, we're not going to focus on that. We're mostly focusing on the smart hybrid light. Perifocal, the sensor size, lifeguard to warn off the intruder that is there. So just a breakdown on the camera models itself. So as you can see, we obviously have multiple fixed lenses. We have our varifocals in our domes, as well as different models itself. Just trying to see if there was anything else that I wanted to mention there. Nope. So the next one is very fun. This is a different model, just to highlight the differences between certain domes itself. As we all know, domes are designed for indoor use. Domes are not designed for outdoor use, right? We also don't want you to open up the dome in a walkway where it's just open environment. This is a bit of a problem. But we also know that some customers like the look of this dome and they want it for their shopping center, for the walkway outside area. We understand that. So we brought out the PT-RZ. So there's an R in that little PT, and I'll explain just now. So in that itself, you also have the day-night mode inside there. This means that you don't have to touch the inside of the camera. When it comes to installation, you install the bracket, and then you just clip it in to that bracket. So there's no need for you to take off the lens, right? It's also quick and easy to install, easy to set up through your HikLeague Partner Pro app, and it's cost effective when it comes to that environment. It has the two-way communication. I have one here just laying on the table that I didn't want to fiddle with, and it's just an image for now. So my apologies. I think someone might have changed the firmware of it. Anyway, moving forward. So not just that, you would ask me maybe, how do I then change the parameters of this PT-RZ? As I cannot open it like a normal camera. So normal camera, you have to open and then move the lens inside. This means that you can use the PT configuration as a PTR. This means that as an installer, you can slowly move the PTZ in its environment, if it makes any sense. Okay. It's slow. It's not a PTZ that you will use as normal to look at different areas. This is from an installation point of view as HikLeague Partner Pro to be able to move instead of touching the PTZ. Okay. We don't want you to touch it. So for the rest itself, for indoor, outdoor use itself, for security needs, we have that capability. So please have a look at that. Obviously, for urban city areas, for large security environments, definitely we can do so. And then lastly, the promotion. So in the promotion, just to highlight to everybody, so you might see it on your HikLeague Partner Pro app. You have the capability of buying 4 and get 1 free. So please have a look at that. It's a promotion running at this moment, as well as up to 12% off between the time period of the 19th of August to the 6th of September. So time is running out a little bit there. There's quite a bit of quantity. You can also see the discount that you can get on some of these models. Where's my mouse now? On these models. So please have a look at your HikLeague Partner Pro app. It will also indicate and lie to you to show you on the HikLeague Partner Pro app where that functionalities are and what you can do through this. And then lastly, thank you very much. I just want to check before I ask in the class if there's any questions, if there's anything online that somebody might have as a question.